So we're in Midtown in New York, and we are back for our second Question Time event here in New York, but it's actually our 7th overall. So our moderator this year is Campbell of the company Dine. Then we've got Daniel Ruch, who's founder of Rocketrip. We've got Cindy Shumate of Regeneron. We've got Andy Menkes of the Partnership Travel Consulting Company. We've got Dee Runyan from World Travel Inc. And of course our own Greg Abbott from DataArt.
So you're very topical. The whole idea of whether policy is dead or not is a really great question. And the dialogue reflected that, right? So it's a very engaged group. You attracted a phenomenal panel, all like industry heavyweights with opinions, nice balance of people.
90+% of our travelers really want to do the right thing. They want to know what's in policy and what's not, so that they can adjust their behavior and they can understand what kind of buying decisions that they can make all along the way in that journey and that trip.
I think this industry still struggles with what Andy said, which is this tug of war between multiple constituents in the industry that all have opposing needs. So the travelers have needs, the TMCs have needs, the vendors have needs, the travel managers have needs, and we all need to get on the same page about what we're trying to achieve. Through communication, it's through education, it's through incentives that we can all get there together.
I'm one of these rogue travelers. It was interesting for me to hear the industry talk about how they handle people like myself. Dan from Rocketrip, who was presenting some of the views that I would say I would associate with versus some of the older travel managers. I think there was a very interesting dichotomy between the views generationally.
I think it was really the reconfirmation that the traveler is at the center of what we should all be working on, because whether it's policy, whether it's incentives, whether it's explaining to them what's in it for me, I think that's really key.
I certainly think it involves information. That was the biggest takeaway for me. I think there are two types of travelers. There are types of travelers that want to follow policy, and there are types of travelers that think they're more informed than the policy is. And for me, that was the most impactful thing I heard from the panel, that the industry really hasn't figured out how to really approach both sides of this problem.
That was really good, actually. The panelists were, finding spots where they disagreed, which is something that always educates and elevates the conversation.
I think the most valuable part of the event today was, first of all, getting to hear industry experts speak of corporate policy and travel practices. In any industry, it's applicable, not only people who work in the travel industry.
Generally, I learn a lot. Our panelists usually are so much more adept to what's going on in the trends of the industry, and our audience is engaged, and I take away a lot of learning.